Welcome to the 12th video in the SaaS SCADA configuration training series. Concluding the presentation of the additional settings and finalizing the project configuration, this video will cover the last two additional settings, templates and alarms. Template configuration. To customize screens and functionalities, some templates must be configured. Enable the start value and comment columns in the table header. Navigate to the ZLAT calculated tags template, which is used when there is a need to calculate or assign values to tags. In this version, the template only includes the tag key list, so it's possible to define the voltage value of the buses when they aren't supervised by Actionnet, as in the case with the bus bars created in the last video. The bus voltage is determined by an OR operation between the feeders. Following the defined order of priority, the system evaluates each feeder and discards it only when the measurement quality of all phases is considered bad. The definition of which bus bars will be calculated must be made in the comment column following this format. The initial information corresponds to the bus tag name with the level, and the final information represents the names of the supervised bays without the level. The limiters follow this rule. Use a column to separate the bus bar from bays. When there is more than one bay to be considered in the analysis, separate them with a semicolon. When there is more than one bus to be calculated, separate each set with a pipe. At the end of the calculated tag configuration, add the symbol to the screen. Measurements screen. Navigate to the ZLAT Measures screen configuration template and configure the type list variable by specifying the names of the bay templates and the order in which they should appear on the measurements screen. This screen is represented by this icon. Here, we can see that the designed templates for the high voltage transformer and the lines have appeared. To make changes to the information on this screen, close the current project and edit the line again. Here, we decided that the measurements of all templates will be displayed on the screen. Now it is complete. Details screen. In this template, we can define the position of the bay symbols and which flags have inverted logic. First, consider the bay details screen without changing its settings. Let's take a look on the position of the line, transformer, feeder, and incomer symbols. We can see that the position of the incomer isn't satisfactory. To configure the base symbol positions on this screen, navigate to the ZLAT Details screen configuration template. Here, two tags must be configured, symbol list and position symbol. Starting with the symbol list, you must specify the template name for the bays that need to be repositioned on the details screen. By default, General includes unspecified bay models. Configure the variable, separating the names with semicolons. Next, you need to configure the variable position symbol, informing the X and Y coordinates of each bay model, following the order defined in the symbol list and the expected format. Now, we can visualize the changes to the project in real time. Another configuration that needs to be done is the alarm activation. By default, the alarm is triggered when the value is 1 and normalized when the value is 0. In cases where the behavior is inverted, we must configure the tags status_inv and protection_inv so that the on-screen indicators work with the inverted behavior. Define in the comment of the status_inv the mnemonics that identify state variables with inverted behavior, separating them with semicolons. As an example, we can check the signaling of the local remote, where the activation condition occurs at 0. If necessary, the same configuration logic applies to the protections by editing the protection_inv tag comment. Let's check the configurations in the project in real time. It's noticeable that when the variable has good quality and is in state 1, it's normalized. Then, when it changes from 1 to 0, it goes into alarm mode. Color palette. Open the color states file in Excel to modify the project's default colors. The table is organized as follows. In the theme column, specify the themes for which you want to standardize the colors. Here, there is already a preset configuration for the dark and light themes. In the type column, specify whether the color will be for the outline or for the fill. The following columns represent the color of the elements according to the state or condition in which they are found. The open state type column represents the type of fill the equipment has when it's open and will be explained during the file addition demonstration. The last columns represent the colors for each voltage level. Tests for color resetting can be performed using the following property. You can view the hexadecimal codes of the standard colors by hovering your mouse over them in this tab, and see how they are represented in the system. To change colors, you can choose one of two methods. First, by changing it in the Excel file, edit the desired color, save the file, and close it. Check if the file was saved with semicolons. If not, you must adjust the default delimiter in Windows so that the CSV file types use semicolons. To do this, open the region settings in the control panel. Click on Additional Settings and define the list separator. Go back to the Excel file. Edit it again to apply the new changes, click Save and check if the CSV file was saved with the semicolon correctly. Click the button Reload File and then Apply. Note that the new color has been loaded automatically. Observe the changes made on the screens. The Open State Type column defines the open state configuration type of the equipment, influencing how these states are displayed when a communication failure occurs. When the open state representation has no padding, mark line with an X. When the open state representation is a solid color, mark fill with an X. As an example, let's configure the dark theme to have the line setting and the light theme to have the fill setting. For the dark theme, since the line option is checked, only the outline color will be updated, with the color set for the bad quality state. For the light theme, since the fill option is selected, when a communication failure occurs, both the outline and the fill will be updated with the color defined for the bad quality state. It's also possible to edit the colors by changing them directly in the project. Visualize the change in the elements. If you wish to revert to the default project color defined in the Excel file, click the Default button. For the light theme, the same settings can be applied. Finally, you can configure which theme the project will start with by opening the Display Configuration template and changing the variable theme. Notification via email. Navigate to the ZLAT email server template to define the tags that will be notified via email. Separate with semicolons the list of tags mnemonics to be notified and configure them in the alarm tag. In the notification type tag, define whether the notification will be for the enabled and normalized states or only for one state. In addition to configuring these templates, it's necessary to define the alarm groups that can generate email notifications. To do this, navigate to the Alarms module and enter the appropriate method in the Notification method column. For example, the group Alarms S is registered with the method to generate notifications via email. To test it, let's start the project and register users to receive emails. The window is divided into Recipients, area to add or change recipient email addresses, SMTP server, area used to configure the SMTP server responsible for sending email notifications. And it also includes a table of configured recipient email addresses. To configure which users will receive notifications, we must enter the recipient's email address and the message subject, then click Save. After each entry, a new row will be added to the recipient's table. To configure the sender, we must provide the email address that will be responsible for sending the emails and the application password. You can obtain this password for the Gmail server by following the step-by-step instructions shown in the documentation. After following the instructions, enter the provided app password. Next, select the corresponding SMTP server. To perform a test, activate the configured variable. We can check the emails sent. Alarm configuration. This final module aims to show you how to change the alarm color and configure its sound notification. Open the Groups tab in order to edit the columns color and sound. The color column is used for editing the font colors of the text and background for the states of activation, normalization, and recognition. The sound column is used to configure Windows sounds for each alarm group. The sound groups defined for alarms are associated with standard Windows sounds and can be overridden by higher priority alarms. For example, priority 1 takes precedence over priority 2 and so on. To change the sound on a client station, you must modify the file with WAV audio file format. Navigate to the control panel and click on Sound Configuration. Click on Sounds in the dialog box and select the event sound to be modified. Try changing a line to the newly configured sound and view the changes in the project. Notice that the background color has changed and the sound has also changed too. In this final video, additional settings for templates and alarms were presented, concluding the SaaS CADA presentation series. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact one of our specialists. Thank you for watching.